welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing kind of an interesting video, just because I have seen and heard so many things, specifically about August 27th of this year. And so I wanted to do an astrological analysis of that specific day and that transit, and what the energies are around that, just because I want to just explain what I see as an intuitive as well as an astrologer, and what really I feel is going to happen on that day, based off of all the transits. So if you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Brandon. I do astrology videos. I do other language videos, other things too, but mainly astrology. Yeah, so if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and like, comment, all the things that you know you have to do for YouTube to help me out. But yeah, so anywho, so I'm going to get started with the transits. I'm going to put the transits actually up here right now. And we're actually going to go through and just kind of talk about all of the things within the transits that I've noticed. So if you see here, we actually have a grand trine between Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, which are the three earth signs. And what that is going to do is that's really just, now is a great time to manifest, right? Now is a beautiful time for us to really manifest our physical reality, because those three signs, the earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, all have to do with manifestation and our physical. So what that means is that something physical is going to happen. And what I mean by that is some changes, especially within positions of power. So I want to pause here really quick and let you guys know. So I'm going to be talking about the energy of August 27th, 2020. But it's going to be more on a global scale / country scale. And then I will then be talking about a personal and how it would affect you personally. So on a global scale, as I'm sure you know, if you are even slightly into spirituality or astrology, you know that 2020, or even just not even into those things and you're just a normal human, you know 2020 has been a rough year. 2020, us astrologers have looked at for a very long time. The energy of 2020 is very intense. And the reason for that is because we have Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn all within Capricorn. And when that happens, just those really big players, because the outer planets are going to be the bigger players in astrology that are going to have a more lasting effect on our collective, on our energy, on our life. And with them all conjuncting, just Saturn and Pluto, just in general, is alone a very transformative, very painful combination, because Saturn is our physical reality and Pluto is our power, for very simple terms. And when those two come together in a conjunction, those energies form together, and it's like the depth and the secrecy of the Pluto energy and the like karma and the rules and the lessons for Saturn are combined. So when that happens, a lot of deep trauma and deep secrets and change and transformative power comes through. Just Saturn and Pluto conjunction, Saturn and Pluto aspect in it all is very positive for those sorts of things, but it is very painful, which is why 2020 we've seen a global pandemic, we've seen riots, we've seen protests, movements, looting, we've seen everything, murder hornets, everything you could possibly think of. And so many people are waking up to the reality that we actually live in, and just the differences that our reality can affect other realities and multidimensionality and all those sorts of things. So with Saturn and Pluto being conjunct in Capricorn and then adding Jupiter to it, Jupiter just expands those sorts of things. So Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto are all together in Capricorn, and what that is doing, if you haven't noticed, is changing the positions of power, is changing the power from people in power to the voices and the people that are below, that are really understanding that we can fight up and we can really speak up for our rights and the rights of others and really make a change in this world. And it's very interesting because Saturn and Jupiter are going to be moving into Aquarius pretty soon, which is when a lot more social justice rights are going to be happening. And when Saturn and Jupiter are together, it like lightens the Saturn up a little bit. So Saturn Saturn in Aquarius is going to be a little bit of a smoother ride, at least for the first year, because we're really going to understand the importance of social justice, the importance of standing up for ourselves and our communities and our rights and other people, and just understanding that we are, at the end of it, just a human race. And we have to understand the power of our human race and the power that we hold. And Saturn and Pluto are all about also taking the power back from those in power as well. And it's just a very interesting combination with that. So anywho, so we have that going on August 27th. And Jupiter as well. And we also have the moon there. The moon moves into Capricorn. Actually, I want to say right at the beginning of, let me see, right at the beginning of the day. It looks like it moves in at about 6 p.m. UTC, which is going to be the time for New York, Eastern time in America. It moves around 4 or 5 around there. So with that, the moon, wherever the moon is, and when the moon goes over some pretty heavy planets like Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Jupiter even, it changes the emotional quality within the air, if that makes sense. So the moon is it's actually not gonna move over that conjunction for probably not till the actually it looks like it's gonna happen right around the 28th, 29th. So like midday and the 29th is when things are really gonna heat up. And you might actually feel more of it on a personal level at that point too. But anywho, so with the moon being in Capricorn, it's gonna add an emotional, it's like we're all kind of anticipating something happening, and there's this very big shift within emotional power and things of that nature, and our emotional depth is really coming out. But I do foresee quite a lot of social justice things happening, not just now, but through the remainder of 2020 and to 2021, and actually not until the end of 2023 when Saturn gets out of Aquarius. But then we also have Pluto moving into Aquarius around that time too, which is going to make just a lot more social justice-y things happen, and we're really into the age of Aquarius now. So you're going to see the Capricorn energy that we have, and then we have the Mars and Aries energy that is squaring both Saturn and Pluto, because it's the end of it's at 26 degrees of Aries, and it's squaring that Mars or that Saturn and Pluto energy. And because of that, what that means is we're going to want to do things to stand up for ourselves. We're going to be very self-focused, because Mars and Aries is a very self-focused transit or energy in itself. And having that squaring the Pluto and Saturn, we are going to take action. When Mars is square a planet, especially a heavier planet like Saturn or Pluto or even Jupiter, it makes us want to take action so much more. Saturn and Pluto really push Mars to do something and push us to do something as a collective, to really stand up for the individual, to stand up for individual rights, to stand up for ourselves. The Mars energy in Aries is very intense. It's very strong. It's very powerful. It's very direct. It's also very physical too. So with that, I could definitely see some physical riots, some physical issues coming on. I definitely foresee a lot more, police, not police brutality, but police issues with protesters and things like that, because the Mars and Aries energy is squaring the Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, which is all about authority and people in authority, and the Mars and Saturn just are fighting with that, right? So you're going to see a lot of things with that come up as well. And then we have the Venus. So the Venus is interesting too. So we have the Venus in Cancer at 19 degrees. And it looks like Venus is actually opposing all 3 of the big players in this whole chart, which is Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto. So Venus in Cancer, okay, so what I have to say about this energy is that it really needs us to take care of our home. Because Cancer is your home, your homeland, your country where you reside, your mother, those sorts of things, and what makes you feel like safe and loved and, you know, emotionally secure. That's what Venus in Cancer is all about. And having it squaring all of those, or not squaring, I'm sorry, opposing all of those big players really shows that there's going to be a manifestation of some, I don't really know what the word is for this because I'm just intuiting it, and it seems very heavy. But it seems like there's going to be a power struggle. I guess is the word that's coming to mind. A transformation, a reboot, a sort of just really intense shift. You know, Venus, when Venus opposes, okay, let's just go through each one individually. When Venus opposes Jupiter, it makes us overspend. It's gonna make us do a lot of things that we value. So overspend, a lot of self-care things, which the Jupiter is honestly, the Jupiter in Capricorn is really helping the whole energy for all of us, because Venus in Cancer is all about like the home life and ourselves and our emotional security, and Jupiter opposing that, it's gonna amplify that. It's gonna make us want to do that more. And I think that's really the saving grace in all of this, is just really taking care of your core, taking care of your, you know, emotional safety net and security, and make sure you feel emotionally secure and feel like you are, you know, safe within yourself and within your body, because we're in such a transformative time right now that it's very difficult for us to really understand where we sit and who we are individually. And we are definitely going through a shift on a cosmic level, on a, you know, spiritual level, on a physical level. All of those things are changing because our reality is shifting. We are shifting into a new age, the age of Aquarius, as I'm sure you are well aware of. So the Jupiter is really amplifying that and really asking us to really take care of ourselves, and really just make sure that we're safe here, you know? And then we have the Venus opposite Pluto. So Venus opposite Pluto is very strong. Pluto is a very transformative, dark, intense planet. So what this means is the values of the individual and the values of our core, of our homeland, and just kind of the country that we call home, is going to be tested. And we're going to see the darker parts of our society, the darker parts of, you know, people, of our own motives. And this isn't just on a government level and like societal level, it's also on an individual level where we will be seeing more of our own shadow and really being able to face that, because Venus in Cancer wants us to really take care of our emotions, you know, but the Pluto opposing that is really making us feel like there's more work to do internally. There's more darker things to face. There's more pain that needs to be released. There's more, you know, struggles that we have internally that we haven't healed, and traumas and, you know, issues that we have to work through. So Pluto with opposing Venus is going to force us to do that. Whenever there's an opposition, it's more likely something is going to physically manifest in the outside world. So that's the Pluto. So a lot of power struggles, lots of just intense energies. And then we have Venus opposite Saturn. So Venus opposite Saturn, also similar to Jupiter, is our saving grace. When Venus opposes Saturn, sometimes, you know, people perceive Saturn as being a very negative planet. And I just see it as a planet that if you put in your work and you do it in the right time, Saturn will reward you for that. So the Venus opposing Saturn is going to make us very solidified in our values. And it's going to make us question where our values are versus the values of people in power. But overall, you know, at the end of all this, which is going to not be until probably the end of the year, to be completely honest, by the end of all this, we are going to have a much stronger sense of values, a much stronger sense of, you know, our own trauma and how we've dealt with it, and just a much more optimism out of our life. Because I think right now, actually I know right now, a lot of people are struggling with optimism just because we don't quite know where things are going to be going from here. We don't know how long the pandemic's going to last. We don't know what's going to happen within our society. We don't know what's going to happen within anything. And it's just a very, very scary time in our country. But it is something that we will get through. And if we have to unite ourselves through each other and through our society, we will. And I've seen us do that through social media and through different things that we work through. And different things I've seen online. So the websites and the TikToks and the videos and the social media is really, really our saving grace within that, which is very, very good. So we have that. We do have the Neptune is opposing Mercury. So with that, we have to make sure that we're not being fooled, that we're really seeing the reality for what it is. Because when Neptune opposes Mercury, even though Mercury is in Virgo, it makes it difficult to see what's really real and what's really going on. So with Neptune being in Pisces, it's already more amplified, but having an opposing Mercury really makes us really have to ground and be centered and be conscious of our reality and understand that we are a physical being, that is what we focus as, and that's what we need to really, really focus on to be able to move forward into the next dimension. Because there's a lot of people I see right now too that are also spiritual bypassing, which is just kind of taking the spiritual route and not dealing with the inner things and not really taking them for taking the steps to fix those inner things and taking care of your body, because your body is your temple. If this is not solid, then you're not going to be able to move forward. And Mercury opposing Neptune is a very delusional placement. So it's going to make you really have to see what the truth is. And your truth can be different than someone else's truth. But the overall message is that we need to understand what is really going on within our society and within our country and within ourselves as well. It's really important to see through the veil and see who we really are. And that's the positives of Mercury and Neptune. And then we also have this Mars. I'm going to go back to Mars. The Mars in Aries is still, it's squaring that Venus in Cancer. And it's kind of exacerbating the need for us to really push forward towards truth and towards justice. Because it's funny, because it actually forms a T-square, which is when there's a square and a square in opposition. And what it asks you to do, and with T-squares, is to look at the opposite of where that focal point is, which in this case is Mars and Aries. So the other end of that is going to be the Libra at 26 degrees is going to be the release point. So what that means is that all this energy is kind of like, it's bouncing from like the Capricorn to the Cancer and the Aries, and the Capricorn to the Cancer and the Aries. But the way to get out of this little web is to go from Aries and go across. And that is where the release is going to be. So we're going to have to really, really focus on the Libra energy within us and the partnerships and the people that we really, really have. And Libra rules, kind of law and, the legal system and things like that. So there is going to be a pressure that is actually going to be applied to that 26 degrees of Libra. So that is a very transformative energy. And with that, we have to really focus on social justice and really just making things fair, and really just understand that things need to be balanced. And with that being, pointing towards Libra, it really points towards a really, really strong focus on balancing out the energies, the good and the bad, and the dark and the light, and really understanding our own power within that. Because Mars in Aries is a very powerful placement, and it's asking us to really look towards the Libra and look towards, how we're affecting other people, and really be a light for other people, and really be conscious of the energy we're giving to others and the relationships and partnerships and connections we're making, because that energy does affect us and that energy does change us. And we have to know who we're giving energy to and what we're giving energy to. And I think that's a very big message too within that, is we have to understand what we're giving energy to and what we're giving our power to, especially. And this whole chart is very it's very much saying, don't give your power away. Don't give your power away to people in power just because they're on TV or they're on a pedestal or they're on stage or whatever. Take that power back. Be your own person. Be your own individual and understand that you deserve love and you deserve to go after what you want. And take this time to really do that and inspire yourself, inspire others, and take action. Take massive action to reach your dreams, and take massive action to just reach a very balanced life, you know? Don't just focus on, you know, all the issues that you have or the issues we have as a country, because sometimes that won't always work. You have to focus on you, because the only person you can control is you. You can't control, you can't control people in power with your voice all the time. You need a lot of people to be able to do that. But you can control you, and you can control what you do and what you say. So take the power back and be your own individual and really focus on that, so that you can then push that forward towards social justice when, Jupiter and Saturn go into Aquarius, and really speak up for, who you are, what you want to do, where you want to go. And there's a lot of energy going on here. Overall, it's just the energy of this whole chart is just really telling me that there is going to be a change. There's going to be a massive shift, and it might not happen right away, as much as we would like it to. It is definitely going to happen kind of slowly over time. But we definitely have some work to do as a collective. So yeah, that was my astrological analysis of August 27th, 2020, because I know many of us have been asking about what's going to really happen on that day. There's theories, there's conspiracies, there's all these different things. But I know that on August 27th, we are going to definitely reach a new level, and we're going to really see the truth, So, yeah. So that is my little video there. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I haven't done a video specifically about a specific date before, but I've been told that it's very important, and I've seen it's very important, and I felt it's very important. So I'm going to do that, and we are going to see where this goes. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. And if you guys have any more questions about astrology, feel free to comment on here. I have my Instagram for my astrology down there, as well as all the different videos that I have on my channel, so feel free to check that out. If you guys are interested in booking a private reading with me, please message me, because I would love that. I love you guys, and I would love to just spread more information and just learn with you and just expand and grow. Yeah. So love you guys, and I will talk to you guys later. All right, bye.